Where do you do your test spots on RVs?
Man, I'm glad you said that, because that's the other thing. Get in front of them, go to the job, look at it in person, do a test spot. Obviously, ask permission first,
Right.
but and once they give me approval on the test spot, and they never say no, but once they do, I'm putting it on the front door.
Absolutely.
You're going to see that thing every time you open and close the door to that camper.
Right. You're going to see the potential of that.
When I say $2,000, $3,000 to restore your camper, and you tell me no, you're going to live with that spot right there for quite some time.
Hand over your Range Rover, we take over. Can't make it up, but it's a makeover. Imitators gon' imitate. Honestly, some prefer fake. Some things I'm the same way, but when it comes to cars, get what you pay.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to yet another episode of the Detail Labz podcast. I am your host, Nick, and I'm joined together with my co-host, Mike. Mike, say what's up.
What up? What up? Happy to be here as always.
Let's go.
Love it. Let me get my little horn going.
Little horn.
Love it. Get us started right.
Let's go. You gotta have the horn, man.
I have to. It gets me right, man.
Yeah.
But love being here. Happy to be here. We're here back again. Another topic of the week. Topic of today is how to handle incoming leads, whether it's phone, social media, email. How do you handle your leads in your business?
That's a very good question. To that, I'm going to go ahead and just line it out for you real quick. Simple. You're getting a lot of messages through Messenger, emails, text messages. Those people are shopping prices. And you've got to change that to shopping people. You want them to know who you are.
Absolutely.
You're not another number in a text thread.
Right.
You've got to bring value to the situation.
Absolutely.
You got to bring value to the job.
Numbers don't close people. People close people.
People close people. Authenticity. You can't show them authenticity on a text thread.
Right.
Text messages don't have emotions.
Get them on the phone. Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to.
Whether you're doing your estimate on the phone, over the phone, or in person and just scheduling the estimate, that first phone call is the first impression of your company.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you're building rapport with that customer. You're building confidence in you and your company. And take the time with them.
Yeah.
Be authentic. Ask what their problem is. What do they need?
Yeah.
If you're just giving numbers over the phone, for paint correction, for full details, and all they're worried about is the dog hair in their seats, and you didn't even mention that.
Yeah.
How do you know what they need? And they're not going to buy from you if you're just spitting out numbers and they have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. This is great. You establish a sales process.
Absolutely.
And have that and stick to it, and that process should be when a lead comes in, information is gathered,
right.
A phone call is made, and communication is established.
Absolutely.
Then once you have, and the communication established part is where you gather your information by asking good questions. Right?
Absolutely.
You've got to ask the customer questions. How old's the vehicle? What's the issue? What's going on? Why do you want it detailed? When was the last time it was detailed? Have you ever had us detail it?
Right.
All these questions are gonna, they're gonna help you establish
How'd you hear
rapport.
about us? How'd you hear about us is always important.
Yeah,
track
that's a
your
big
leads.
one. Yeah.
But yeah, if you have a sales system and you follow every line every time.
Yeah.
You'll never miss anything.
Exactly.
The questions are always going to be asked.
Yeah.
Right. And it builds value in your company.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
That's how I would handle leads, and that's how we handle leads in our company. We have a system. It's followed every time.
Yep.
And it's designed to sell the most value and create the most connection with that customer.
Yeah.
Because we're not just selling something that we're selling something they need, but sometimes they don't know they need it.
Right.
You know
exactly,
what I'm saying? So they're not going to buy from somebody they don't like.
Yeah.
We try to get in front of that customer as often as we can. Some businesses don't. They do it over the phone, and that's fine. But are you taking the time to build connection with that customer?
Yeah.
If you're not, then it's a hard sell.
Numbers don't sell jobs. People sell them.
Exactly.
That's it.
I love
Man, that's
it.
good. And, one other thing I'll touch on, too, is, having that process and sales process in place and building the rapport with the customer, and establishing that communication is key to having a successful rate as far as sales go.
Absolutely.
If you want to ramp up your sales, ramp up your communication.
Absolutely.
You know, and then, because what happens is us detailers, we fall in this rut, right? Where we are out in the field, you know, playing catch up on the jobs we sold last week.
Right.
You know, so the sales kind of falls off this week because we're in the field. We're not trying to deal with the customer. We're trying to bang the job out.
Right.
You know, so we shoot over some quick price list via text message or some random price, and we never hear back from them. And then next week, we're wondering why we're slow.
Right.
Because your sales process is broken.
Absolutely.
You've got to fix that. You know, whether that be you being removed out of the field, put somebody else out there to start doing the work while you handle the sales.
Right.
That's how you grow. And that's why we're here. We're here to help you guys grow your business. We're going to drop golden nuggets on you.
Absolutely.
This is something that God's birthed on our hearts. Yes, I said God because I'm a believer and we're going to stick to that.
Absolutely.
But God has birthed on my heart to help you guys, man. We want to help. I want to be a help to anybody who's willing to be helped.
Absolutely. We both have gone through the struggle,
Yes.
you know, and we know what it's like.
I made all the mistakes for you, man.
Exactly. And even still, even if things aren't perfect, you know, and things aren't perfect in your business or whatever it is, there's always little things that you can do to help you.
Yeah,
You know,
that's it.
How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
One bite at a time, baby.
So you just keep moving forward, make little changes. And I'm telling you, there's little things that you can do that make a huge difference when they compile together.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's so good.
So, you know, get out of your own way, you know, trust the system, put the systems in place. I mean, it's loaded. You can talk about it all day. But
Yeah, for sure.
For the topic, leads, track your leads, get a sales system in place.
Yep.
And you'll be just fine.
Yeah.
But and another thing too that when you were just talking reminded me, a lot of the times in our own industry we have certain terms we use, right? And I'm sure in the detail industry you guys have terms that you guys use that no one would really understand unless they were in the detail business, right?
Yeah.
It is so easy when you're talking to a customer to start throwing these terms out.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So you have to treat a customer every time new like they're walking in, they don't know.
It's like, man, think of it like this. Have you ever had a conversation with a brain surgeon?
Right.
I mean, they're throwing out some stuff that we don't hear on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
You
and
know?
that can go good when you're like, oh, well, this guy knows what he's talking about because he's using big vocabulary.
Yeah.
You know, or it's like the person's like totally confused. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, you think I should know that you need to use a salt and pepper buffer or not. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Or a level 10 standard. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Level 10 standard.
You know, they call in, they just want the dog hair out of their seats. And you just went on a whole tangent about buffing.
Keep it simple and be authentic.
Absolutely. That's what it boils down to.
It really does.
Well, anyway, after the topic of the week, we always go into some questions.
I love the questions,
And,
man. That's the highlight for me.
100%. Keep sending these questions in. We love them.
Yeah, please, man, please.
We try to pick the questions that go along with the topic of the week and our product of the week, but I'm telling you, we will get to your questions if we haven't already. We will.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Our first question, though, Sam from Orlando, Florida.
Big shout out to Orlando. 2 hours, 4 hours away? Yeah, 4 hours away. Yeah, 3 and a half.
Middle 3.
I make it in too. Yeah. Nah, I'm joking.
We have a lot of RV campers and fifth wheels here, and we get a lot of phone calls of people who want estimates for oxidation removal.
Yep.
I've noticed that we give pricing over the phone, and it's very rare that we get the job. Any advice? Well, the problem's in,
You pretty much, you pretty
much
much answered your own question there. You give a lot of prices over the phone.
Absolutely.
That your sales process is broken.
100%.
Yeah, 110%. You a big ticket item like that, you should be going and meeting them in person.
Right.
I don't care who you are. I don't care what your schedule looks like. That's a big ticket item in the detail industry. You need to go and meet that individual in person.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and establish communication, establish a relationship, talk to them, be authentic. You're the salesperson. You got to sell that job. That big ticket item came to you for a reason. You need to lock that thing down.
Absolutely. And someone who doesn't even know anything about oxidation removal or detailing in general, they don't know it's a big ticket item. So when you throw out a number, let's just say you throw out $2,000, and it's like, oh my gosh, I thought it was just going to be a couple hundred. Well, they didn't know, and you can't expect the customer to know.
Yeah, that's why it's important for you to get out there and communicate to them the process.
Build the value, right?
Build the value.
Build the value.
Yes.
Feel the wheel, seal the deal. Get in front of them. Do a test spot. Where do you do your test spots on RVs?
Man, I'm glad you said that, because that's the other thing. Get in front of them, go to the job, look at it in person, do a test spot. Obviously, ask permission first, but and once they give me approval on the test spot, and they never say no, but once they do, I'm putting it on the front door.
Absolutely.
You're going to
Right
see
in
that
front of
thing
them.
every time you open and close the door to that camper.
Right. You're going to see the potential of that.
And when I say $2,000, $3,000 to restore your camper and you tell me no, you're going to live with that spot right there for quite some time.
Right.
And you're going to, every time you open and close the camper door, you're going to look at that spot and go, dang, that Nick guy, he really, man, that's what my camper could be.
Right. And then in your follow-up, you call him a couple days later. Hey, how's that test spot looking?
Yeah, how's that test spot
Still
looking?
shining?
Yeah.
Right?
We need to get out there and finish the whole thing.
I think, Sam, you answered your own question in that pricing over the phone is not going to work very well at all. You're going to fail every time if you're not in front of that customer, building value, doing your test spot.
Yeah.
Especially something like oxidation removal. That can't be easy.
Yeah, it's not. It's a process. And you need to get out there and understand what that process is going to be. And I'll give you guys a free nugget here. You know, we get out there on these test spots, you know, some of these campers with their gel coat, I mean, you do a test spot. This is what I always do. I take that test spot off in a square and I'll hit it with compound, our medium compound or our super cut, you know, which works great on that oxidation. And I'll do that test spot and I'll take some water or something and put it on there and kind of rub it down because I want to see if the oxidation is going to come back.
Right.
You know, I need to make sure that my cut was strong enough to get past the oxidation. And that's a good test right there to know if what you've done is going to withstand.
Nice.
You know, so that way you don't get into a job for $2,000-$3,000, do all the work, and then when it rains, it comes back to being oxidized again.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, so that's a good test right there. Throw a little bit of water on it once you cut. Make sure you got deep enough so you know exactly what the process is going to be.
Awesome. And that supercut medium compound can be on Detail Labs, right? That's all Detail Labs
Absolutely.
products.
www.detaillabs.com, baby.
Love it. Question number 2 is John from Ohio.
John, yes.
We love Ohio.
I like Ohio.
I do. My family's from Cincinnati. I love Cincinnati.
I've never been.
Never been to Cincinnati?
Man, when I think it's like SECs, I'm an SEC guy, LSU, go Tigers. You know what I mean?
All right. Moving on. John from
So
Ohio.
I think Ohio Buckeyes. What is a Buckeye? It's a nut, ain't it?
All right. John from
Bunch
Ohio.
of nuts over there. No, I'm joking. I love Ohio. Shout out to you guys.
I have a customer who does not want to pay for the services that we performed. How should I go about handling this? Uh-oh. You don't ever want to be in that position.
Switched gears there.
Right. Well, I'll tell you on my side, before we answer how to handle that, how to prevent that would be putting a system.
You go.
You know,
That's a good way to put it.
How to prevent that.
How do you prevent that?
Right.
Yeah.
Put a system in place for payment, whether it's putting a credit card on file, collecting payment when you arrive, whatever it may be. Put a system in place where you're always collecting payment at the time of the job.
Yeah.
The customer must be there. Payment arrangements must be made at time of scheduling. Super important.
Yeah.
2, always set your expectations when you're selling the job. You know, if they're unhappy about something, it's because you didn't bring it up to them, right? You didn't set their expectations on what that should look like. You didn't do your walk around showing that, hey, this isn't coming out. So expectations, walk arounds, and a payment system can solve that. And that's something easily you can put in place and run every single time.
Yeah, man, that's breaking down. There's something going on with the communication, like Mike said. I mean, you've got to walk that job with the customer before and after the work.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
beforehand, so you can see the condition of the vehicle with the customer. You need to point out if there's scratches or dings or nicks. You know, that way you walk it with the customer, you see it, you point it out, and then what do they say 9 times out of 10? I didn't know that was there.
Right.
So it saves you on the back end because, you know, when you wax that vehicle and you get done with the detail, they come out. What's the first thing some of these people notice? Man, that scratch wasn't there.
Right.
Well, it's showing more because your car looks better. So it's showing all the imperfections.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's very, very key, very important, very vital that you walk that job with the customer before the work's done and after. Establish that communication with them. Absolutely. And then that's a keen time. That's prime time for an upsell.
Yeah, right before upsell it all. Or right after, you know.
Hey, do you want us to take the scratch out?
Absolutely.
Versus having to do it for free on the back end because you didn't communicate it?
Absolutely. Always upsell. and, you know, for that matter, even do a mid walkthrough right in the middle of the job. You know, the customers love that. If the customer could be sitting in the car while you're washing it all down and shampooing the carpets, they probably would. You know, they want to be there. They want to be a part of it. So anytime you can get the customer a part of what you're doing, they trust you.
Yeah.
You know, and it builds that trust, builds that value.
Absolutely.
And that's your time to point those things out, so you don't run into these situations where I'm not paying for this. You know, like that should never happen.
Yeah.
As far as handling it, talk to the customer. The communication's lacking. Call them. Don't text them. Get in front of them. Figure out what the problem is.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, man. You've got to call that customer. Give him a call. Ask him the right questions. You know, how can we make this right?
Yeah.
You know, what went wrong?
Right.
What's going on? You know, and when can I come back out and fix it?
Right. 99% of the time, it can be solved with a simple conversation.
Absolutely.
Something can be solved. That 1% of the time where a customer's trying to get over on you, there's legal ways you can go about doing things, and they might vary from state to state, but you can figure it out. But 99% of the time, a conversation face-to-face, man-to-man, can be solved.
Yeah. Find out what's going on, talk to the customer, get out there and fix it, because a lot of businesses nowadays just, once a customer kind of makes a complaint or shows some signs of they don't want to pay, I mean, the company is like, I hate to say this, but they're like, okay, whatever. Well, we if you don't want to pay, then, it's like, F you, no, man, you can't, you're in business, dude.
Right.
You make it right with the customer.
Absolutely.
If it's a bigger ticket item and they still don't want to pay, I mean, I've got a great lawyer, and
sometimes
maybe
you have to go the legal route.
Sometimes you do have to go the legal route. I'm not, if it 9 times out of 10, what it sounds like is a couple $100. If you establish communication, you ask customer what's going on, see if you can get out there and fix it. If you can't fix it and he still doesn't want to pay, man, just cut your losses. It's not worth him living rent free in your head. Just move on, man. Cut your loss and move on.
Absolutely. And then put systems in place in your business to where that never happens again.
Learn from that. Use that as a learning tool, man. Use that as a learning curve and take that. And just move forward, man. Say, hey, that was an expensive lesson.
For sure.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, John, let us know how that goes.
Yeah, John. Thank you.
And good luck with that.
Yeah.
Question number 3, Rodrigo from Jacksonville.
Rodrigo, we got 2 Florida questions. Let's go.
I recently did a full detail on a black Tahoe. The customer wanted swirls out of the paint. I was there all day and made little progress. What do I do? That's a good question for you. You're the expert on that.
Yeah, man. That's when it comes to paint correction, you really want, my rule of thumb is starting light and then working up to heavy, because a lot of times you can get the stuff out just by doing a light cut. If we look at that paint and it's in bad condition, obviously we're going 3-step all day. We'll start with our super cut and a white cutting pad. Cut through all the heavy scratches and swirls, and we'll go to our medium compound with a salt and pepper pad and get the more lighter stuff, and then we'll come back with a black microfiber cutting pad or polishing pad with our swirl remover. And I mean, if you do that 3-step process, it's going to be a flawless paint.
Nice. And all those products you can get at Detail Labz.
Absolutely. www.detaillabs.com, baby. Let's go.
Awesome.
You know I had to hit it with the horn.
But yeah, as far as that goes, you don't want to be in a job all day. Make sure you're using the right products, the right tools.
Yeah.
If you don't have the right tools, you show up for a job, you're never going to get it done. So make sure you're following the right process, have the right tools in place, and every line, every time. If you have a process and you treat a paint correction, when you're going to a job, have your checklist of what you need to do to get it done.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a side note here too. I feel it important to say and speak on. But a couple weeks ago, we were doing a black Tahoe. It's funny, but and the guys were polishing it, and they're like, "Man, Nick, whatever we do, it's making it worse." And I'm like, "What? What do you mean? How can it make it worse?" So I go out there. I'm not even thinking, and I've been in this industry for 20 years, but I go out there and take a look at the job because I want to see what's going on. How are you polishing something and making it worse?
Right.
I get out there, lo and behold, the car has a full PPF paint or PPF protection, paint protection. And you can't polish paint protection film.
Right.
So we obviously had to go a different route. And anyway, just double check that before you dump into something. That should be on a checklist.
That is true.
Make sure.
If it's not coming out by following your normal process, then something's up. You know what I'm
Something's going
saying?
on. Yeah, figure out what's
it
going
out.
on.
Something's going on. And PPF, that's a great thing to look for because more and more cars now are having that.
Yep.
You know, I see it advertised everywhere.
Yep.
So definitely look for that. That's good.
Yeah, and
That's
you
good
know,
stuff.
check that off, you know, and make sure that your prep work, because the big thing when it comes to paint correction, and I feel like a lot of people skip over this, is the prep work. Man, are you washing? Are you clay barring? Are you deconning? You know what I mean? Our iron remover works magic on deconning, clear coat, and getting that paint prepped for paint correction.
Right.
You know,
Everything's in the prep.
it's all in the prep, man, especially when it comes to that, man. And just make sure your prep work is there, and man, you're following, you know, stick to your knowledge and your skill set. Make sure you go, you know, if something's wrong in your process, like Mike said, you know, get back to the basics. Make sure that you did everything the right way. Your prep, your polishing, your compound, your 1, 2, 3 step, you know, and just be thorough with it, man. Get back to the basics.
Absolutely. That's good stuff. And that actually brings us right into our product of the week.
Yeah.
The Detail Labz Medium Compound.
Medium compound, baby, right here. Let's go.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes. So medium compound's great for your light swirls and scratches. It will pull out some of the heavier stuff, paint transfer, things that, you know, any kind of imperfections on the paint, oxidation. The cool stuff about this little 32-ounce bottle goes a long way. And the other thing that I absolutely love about it is minimal dusting.
Nice.
It doesn't throw or sling dust all over the vehicle, you know, while cutting. So this is a great product. If you're doing a one-step for paint enhancement, this is the go-to for us. And in a 3-step process, this would be our second step.
Awesome.
Yep.
What kind of pad you putting that on?
Well, if we're doing a one-step, man, you can do salt and pepper or a full white, you know, cutting pad is going to be your go-to. I just want to interrupt this video real quick to show you guys what our medium compound can do out in the field. Check this out.
Car shine when we buff them out, that's why they call us Flex Mobile. Paint shiny like Van Gogh, work of art by the time it's over. Come to you like workers postal, at the job, going postal. Long barrel with the trigger finger on the pressure washer, not a super soaker. No chipping like a cold shoulder, got experience like getting older. Do it right, no do over.
As you can see from the video, our medium compound is very easy to use, especially in direct sunlight. That was a heavily swirled vehicle that we did one pass on with the DA. If you like it, check it out at detaillabs.com. And for more content, follow us on all of our social media platforms.
Nice. You know, funny thing, quick story. And I don't want to throw any names out there or anything, but your lovely wife,
Rachel, shout out.
Shout out to Rachel. She does everything in the back end, and she's a huge part of this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
She came home yesterday and a little paint transfer on the truck.
Yeah.
The brand new truck.
The brand new Tundra.
And I'll tell you, pandemonium broke out. It was insane.
My guys showed up. Flex Mobile Detail guys showed up. Big shout out to Anthony and John. Well, John pointed it out. Anthony fixed it.
Right.
So John got me all roared up, you know, and Anthony calmed me down.
Yeah, next day he's in the truck. He's grabbing the compound. He's grabbing the buffer. He's like, "Don't worry, we'll get this done."
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, within 5 or 6 minutes, they had that buffed out.
It was
using the
clean.
medium compound. It was off. It was perfect. I was like, that thing saved the day.
Yeah,
medium
it sure
compound
did.
saved the day.
Medium
So
compound did the trick.
that was cool to see, especially because it's the product of the week. But I got to see it in person, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it
it's
was
good
perfect.
stuff. So definitely find it online. Use the discount code. There will be a discount code for that product and any of our products on Detail Labz, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll have www.detaillabs.com. It'll be right here. We'll go ahead and throw that across the screen. Awesome. And please, man, if you like the content here, our heart and our passion is to see you guys grow in your industry, in the detailing industry, in your businesses, and be successful. That's what we want.
Absolutely. And we want to see that too. We want to see what you guys are doing out there.
Yeah, show us, man. Tag us, man. If you got products and you got before and afters, throw up some videos, man, and tag us in them, dude. If you got questions, drop them in the comments, man.
Absolutely.
Like, follow, share, subscribe. Like, we appreciate you guys. We're doing this for y'all, man. We appreciate you guys so much. You know, yeah, keep the questions rolling in.
100%. Even without the podcast, me and Nick sit here and talk about this all day.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
But we love doing it. We love you guys getting involved,
Yep.
and we love it. We appreciate it.
Big shout out to you guys, man. And man, y'all take care. We can't wait until next week already. I'm ready to go for the next episode.
Let's do it. We'll see you next week.
Until next time, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll see y'all later. Peace.
Peace.
Get it, got it, we good. Every day it's all good. Send the verbs to the hood.